March 14th, 2000, we were blessed with a beautiful daughter, Annie Margaret. My wife and I have 4 daughters, and Annie is our baby. We are finally here on Annie's wedding day, which her mother started thinking about the night before she was born. Let me explain. Knowing the gender was going to be a complete surprise to us, if it was a boy, we had the same name, ready to go. But if it was a girl, at this point, we had exhausted ourselves. We did know the middle name was going to be Margaret, after my mom, but we had no first name. Her birth was a planned C-section, and when our little Annie arrived, we had a few brief moments with her, and then she was whisked away to the nursery. My job was always to follow the babies out of the OR and to the nursery, so I could keep a good close eye and make sure we came home with the right baby. As the baby and I made our way to the recovery room with Kelly, she told me, "Don't get mad," but I gave her a name. It's Annie.
Oh, my Margaret. You're beautiful.
Love you too. You want a twirl?
Oh my goodness. It's gorgeous.
I got the bow too.
I
You wouldn't believe it. Love you.
Annie was a very shy little girl. She never liked to be far from home and still doesn't. Preschool was a disaster. Annie would cry before I left the house with her. Once we got inside the preschool, she'd wrap her arms around your leg and she held on for dear life. She'd say, "I love you and don't leave me." And with this, more than half the times, I would bring her right back home or I would drop her off to Kelly at work. Then kindergarten came and we thought, oh, things will be better because she will ride the bus with her 3 big sisters. We told Annie if she didn't get on the bus after walking back home, she had to make a phone call to me at work. It only took a few days before that phone call came. I had a message from my sweet Annie that I saved for over 20 years. I held on to this because I told her someday I was going to play it at her wedding.
Here's little Annie.
Hi, Dad. I love you. I'm going to be at home because I missed the bus. Sorry.
Hi, Dad. I love you. And I'm going to be at home because I missed the bus. Sorry. Once we made it through kindergarten, all was well, and she learned to like school. And who would have thought she'd choose a profession that would keep her in school longer than the average? She explained how she couldn't sleep the night before and found a good movie to watch. She watched Father of the Bride. Kelly said the name hit her when the character, Annie Banks, was out in the snow playing basketball the night before her wedding with her dad. It was the perfect name for a girl because she knew I loved basketball. I loved the snow, and she thought how sweet that moment was for a father and daughter. Kelly saw herself in Steve Martin's character, and it was the perfect name. After all, our Annie has a true love and passion for playing basketball, and she too loves the snow as much as me. Some things are meant to be, but the icing on the cake, being the perfect name, is that Annie, in the movie, married a boy named Brian, and our Annie did too.
You look handsome.
Look amazing. I'm speechless.
I love you.
I love you too. Oh my God.
Love you.
I love you too. We kiss him now.
The two of you are about to begin a long journey, one that will be filled with all the love and happiness we have seen between you both and more. So I ask you all to join me in raising to a toast to Annie and Brian. Enjoy a happy life together. Love you guys.
The first time I remember seeing Brian was at our fall prospect day in our senior year of high school. We remember seeing a young man in a yellow helmet running laps around everyone else. And a couple of the commits at the time, we were like, man, that guy's really athletic. And then we came to the point that we realized he was the only one who was not hungover that morning. He still had to focus on his high school football career. He had not yet earned all state, so it's earned, not given. Very quickly on, we learned that we had a lot in common. Whether I was being both very academically focused, both loving sports, or both being just ever so slightly competitive with each other. But those aren't the things that I want to focus on tonight. I want to focus on the things of what make Brian a role model in my life. And the biggest thing in that is his consistency. His consistency with the intentional energy that he puts into friendships, no matter how far they live. And more importantly, the consistency of always being there. Always being ready, no matter what someone needs. You're always ready to give 100%.
As her older sisters, we have had the privilege of witnessing Annie's transformation into the remarkable woman she is today, and about to start a new beginning with Brian. It's hard to believe that we once doubted her ability to make it past kindergarten. By the time we reached high school, it was impossible to believe that Annie ever disliked going to school. Some of my most cherished memories are our car rides to and from school, including jamming out to Gotta Go My Own Way from High School Musical.
Annie has now moved to Columbus, and we believe it's to fulfill a lifetime goal of being an animal helper. I am going to read a section of a poem Annie wrote. I don't know how old she was, but she wrote a poem, very young, called Sad Things. And I would also like to say that she signed it, smiley face, Annie Weckesser. Zoom, another animal gets hit by a car. Many animals are struck and killed by cars. So I want to stop all killings of animals in Columbus, Ohio. I hope I won't let any animals die because I would cry and cry and cry. It's a bad feeling because I have heard of at least 10 animals that have died in Columbus, Ohio. Brian, we hope that you will support Annie in this lifetime goal of hers. Brian, we are so happy to be gaining you as a brother. And with you, we know we're gaining a lifetime of laughs. I'll never forget the first night I met Brian. We were playing Family Feud, and I had the pleasure of being on a team with Annie and Brian. The prompt comes up, what drink goes well over ice? There are so many good answers, like water, iced tea, soda, lemonade. And Brian confidently slams the button and shouts beer. And just like that, big, bright, Family Feud style X on the board. We will never let Brian live this story down. We're so happy you found each other, and it's a joy to stand here today and celebrate your love. We can't wait to see what the future holds for both of you and Berry Girl. So please raise a glass, and we're gonna raise beer with ice. Brian, get ready for a lifetime of picking up Diet Coke, always having to pay because Annie will forget her wallet, and constantly having to make all the decisions. Brian, thank you for loving Annie the way we all do. We know she has found someone who supports her, makes her laugh, and fits perfectly into the crazy, wonderful dynamic our family has always had. To love, laughter, and a lifetime of happiness for Annie and Brian. May your home be filled with joy, your hearts with patience, and your lives with adventures you can't yet imagine. Cheers.
On our way home from rehearsal dinner last night, Annie surprised me with one last father of the bride moment. Just before we turned onto our street, she asked me to turn into the church parking lot across the road from our neighborhood. She asked me to pull up to the basketball hoop on the edge of the parking lot and asked me to play a game of one-on-one with her. It turned into a magical and heartwarming moment that I will never forget. as the snow began to fall, as we were playing basketball on the night before her wedding, just as Annie Banks and Steve Martin did in Father of the Bride. Of course, she beat me by 1 point last night in the bitter cold. But today, Annie and Brian and both of our families are winners, as these two have brought us all together through their love for each other.
Brian, I have dreamed of this day for as long as I can remember, and somehow you have surpassed every vision of that dream. You have been my best friend for 8 years, and I truly believe that is what makes our relationship so special. I still can't believe that the little girl who hoped she would marry her best friend is actually standing here today doing exactly that. I can't look at you. From our very first date, I knew you were the one, and I even told you that. Then came Bear, and watching you become the most incredible dog dad made me realize just how lucky I am.
Annie, over 3 years ago, we started our official journey together. In that time, we have celebrated, laughed, we have cried, and we have both had both good times and bad. Through all of this, we have found a way to strengthen our relationship each and every day. Today marks not a new chapter, but the next chapter in the best life I or any man could ask for. We still will have the good times and we still will have tough times, but today signifies our commitment to each other, rooted in faith for the rest of our lives.
And now from this day forward, these are the promises I make to you. I promise to be faithful, honest, kind, patient, and loving every single day. I promise to stand by your side in sunshine and in storm, and I promise to love you each day more than the day before.
I vow to always be by your side forever. You are my person, the person who is the most beautiful girl I know, the person who makes me laugh, and the person who pushes me to be better. I admire everything about you, your hardworking spirit, your immense kindness and giving. I don't know where I would be or who I would be without you. You complete me.
Annie and Brian, we got some good news for you. You guys are ready for the big day. How exciting this is. What are you promising to do in your wedding? I am promising that I am free to marry, that I'm going to be faithful, going to be fruitful, and I'm going to promise to love. And it's patient, it is kind, it is not jealous, it's not pompous. It does not seek its own interests. What is the goal of marriage? To get each other to heaven. And any kids that you may have, to get them to heaven. I wish you many, many happy and great years of marriage. That you will continue to grow in love with one another through those small sacrifices each and every day. And it is now my honor and privilege to introduce to you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Dalidowicz. You may kiss your bride.
I promise to love you forever and always, and I can't wait to start this next chapter of life with you by my side.
So Brian, I do. I did on March 13th, 2022. I did again on November 23rd of 2023. I do today on December 12th of 2025. And I will tomorrow. And I will forever and always. I love you.
Love you, sir.